Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We have a live stream for Sunday. Yosh Finn says, hello, sir. I've been watching a video for a while. A video or my video says, my 4-year relationship ended 6 months ago. All right. First of all, Yosh, tell me how old you are. And of course, I like to know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. That's a protocol what we all have to observe here. So I know how old you are, how to address you, and what level of communication I can reach you and discuss what's concerning you. So throw that to me while I'm reading your question. So my 4-year relationship ended 6 months ago. He broke up with me. Okay, Yash, Francis, I'm 22-year-old. I'm an Indian female. All right, thank you for that. So she says, my 4-year-old relationship ended 6 months ago. He broke up with me while I was admitted to the hospital and underwent an extremely serious surgery. Then he's an asshole. So what are you worried about? It was perhaps your luck to find out you're dealing with a shallow, weak man, and his love was not love. He was interested in having, I don't know, some kind of a girlfriend, maybe. But these are the ways that you can actually sift off people that you shouldn't have in your life. So, what's the question? What is your concern? That has nothing to do with you. What he has done is not a reflection on your qualities and competency and speciality. It's a reflection on him being simply not a man. At least he could have waited until and support you through this ordeal and be beside you and extend warmth and care and kindness, good energy. And then when you're feeling better and you're up for it, then if there was a problem, you could have discussed. And if there was none, then you'd continue. Or if you wanted to separate, then that would be his choice. A human thing, someone who cares, is not a selfish ass, would be to stick around to make sure you're okay. That's all. Yashvin says he never gave me a proper reason. There's no reason. The reason is not you. The reason is his lack of understanding what life is all about. He just wanted to have, how old was he anyhow? He just wanted to have some fun, and he saw you're going to hospital, something serious, and he bailed. Okay. That means if there was no need for your surgery, you would have never known that he is going to bail when challenges approach. So now you know, and you got rid of him scot free. This is the day before he broke up with me. He came to visit me with gifts. He met my parents. He simply said he did for my own good. Yeah. My problem is I can't stop contacting him. Why? First of all, if you find it appropriate, what kind of surgery did you have? And how long have you guys been together before he broke up? And you're at age 22. You hardly know who you are, let alone knowing what kind of man you want and what kind of standards you can exercise. So at this time, I don't see any problem with anything about how things are going. In fact, I think you've lucked out. You found out something that you would have not found out for maybe years to come, and this showed you that you were just having a relationship with a immature boy. That's all. So I don't see any concern here, really. Just got to be happy and go about your life and contact him. And why would you contact someone who's been such an asshole? It breaks up with you when you're in the hospital. That's great. What a man. So you shouldn't bat an eye by him just saying goodbye. So, okay, goodbye, and make sure the door doesn't hit you in the ass. Get out. He could have waited unless you recovered, and then he could have broken up. That's fine. If people don't want to be with each other, that's fine. Yash Fan says he's 24 years old. We were in a serious relationship. I had a knee surgery. I was admitted to the hospital for 2 months. Jesus, he's an asshole. Simple. And he's a 24-year-old. He's a kid. He's not a man. You need to continue your education if you're still in school. Finish your university if you haven't. If you have a job, continue making progress in your job and get better at what you do, make more money. And then when you're old enough, choose a man who's old enough, mature enough, settled enough, established enough, and you choose them based on your abilities. Like, you don't need them for money because you have a job and you pay for your own way. So you choose them from the position of power. You don't choose, and especially if you're in a hospital and you feel ill or you feel some challenge in front of you, you feel more vulnerable, and you feel the person who brings you flower and gifts is so kind and nice and a support. But in fact, it's because you're weak at that time. Otherwise, that asshole was nothing to write home about and nothing to cheer about. He just was a weak young man, and even at that age, he should have known better, that he should at least wait until you're released from hospital and a month or so passes, you're back on your feet, Then he discusses, that he's not interested, whatever. That's not a problem. And Yashvin says, I feel like I will never be able to love. And oh, well, that's a normal feeling. That at age 22, you've been in kind of a serious relationship, which is usually the first or second relationship you've ever had of serious kind. And when it doesn't work out, you think the world has come to an end. No, it's just 22-year-old. You endow yourself with education and with work and position and take care of yourself. Go to the gym, make sure you're fit, keep yourself looking nice. There'll be guys at your heels in numbers, and you will have the luxury of choosing. So don't come up with all these scenarios in your head because they're not realistic. It's just the way you feel right now. Human being believes something if he or she can see it or knows that it's going to be in a certain way. Like it's got a certain kind of a knowledge of assurance that he's sure something is on its way. If we don't have that, we think it'll never happen. Why? Because we only can deal with what's happening in front of us. And if it's not happening in front of us, if not nobody's at my door, all dude up and so on, I might think I'll never find a girl. And with you, the same. If nobody's lining up at your door, or you don't have that relationship right now, you may think that this will never happen because all you can tell is by your seeing it or knowing about it. Right now, you need to see one in front of you, know about that's going to happen tomorrow, or the next day, or next month. And because these two are not present, your brain cannot imagine something great is awaiting you and is on its way, because brain always goes toward the negative because he wants to protect you, so constantly thinks about the negative things. You got to rewire it, make sure you think about positive things. Look, if you think about nothing is going right for you, the brain is going to find things around you that are in that narrative to prove to you that you're right. Nothing is going wrong with you. Nothing is going right for you. But if you change that into positive and think, I'm going to meet someone that I like, I'm going to do what I need to do. I go to the gym, I get my fitness done, I have a good job, I focus on my work and get positions, and I'm going to meet someone who's meeting my standards. You think that way, the brain is going to find a way to meet that what you said and to prove to you that it is correct. So you change your mentality, first of all, from this nonsense that you're thinking about, and then you go on with the way that life is having in store for you. And Yashvin says, thank you, doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor. Never make this mistake. I don't want to claim that I am have any medical credentials. I don't. What I know is about my life experiences, my logic and my studies and research in thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, in relationships, in the inner movement of the psyche, in neuroscience, and understand the neurosurgeons' work and philosophers and all these psychologists and psychotherapists and all that. But I am not a doctor. I don't hold any medical credentials. My videos on my channel, there are about 3,000 of them. I hope you guys have had the chance to look at them. And I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com, mindthatseekstruth.com, where you can make an appointment to talk to me one-on-one on Skype. We'll discuss what's concerning you on that basis. Now, we have a super chat from Stephen. It says, here's for some team, Aaron, and for live chat the other now. My goodness. Thank you, Stephen, for supporting the channel. I appreciate that. Remember, guys, you guys decided that I should run the live stream with Super Chat. If you want the channel to have support for what it needs, and you want to relieve me from spending my money for the past 13 years supporting this channel, then we've come to this conclusion. And Jesse from Germany suggested that we should have Super Chat for every question, and that's how the channel can find support. So that's what we're doing. We're looking for questions and support by super chat. There we are. Now I've said it. Now, thank you, Stephen, for the support. And Kasar Star says, male 25. Hello, Master. Hello, Kasam. He says, is this Kasam or Qasim? You saying it because you can't write it or pronounce it in English? Or it's Kasar or Kosar? Oh, it's Kosar. Oh, Kosar. Okay. It's a proper pronunciation for that. All right. Says, hello, Master. I know when you tell me don't call me Master. Ah, yes, you remember now. All about ego stuff. But you helped me so much in this life. Thank you. My pleasure. But don't call me Master. Nobody's your master. Maybe you can call me Master if I'm in a classroom, and I know that's the connotation you're using it for, but it's best not to use it. Just call me Mehran. You can call me Uncle. Call me Mehran. And Nicholas Lopez Herrera is saying, yeah, that's actually common after breakup, but that's not true. Okay. Okay, here's a Nicholas says, sir, I'm a 22-year-old male from Peru. I'm feeling false attraction all day long with no anxiety. You're not supposed to thinking that false anxiety is only, false attraction is only when there's anxiety. You don't have to have anxiety to believe this is not you. It's just the brain's malfunction in the signaling system and comes up with all these consideration of overactive amygdala and anxiety and feeling inferior because of you consider everybody else as a competitor in finding girls, and you find if they're good looking and they have good physic body and fit, you think they're taking your chances away, and that admiration, which is your own race, which is your own gender, you admire, and that admiration goes to feeling inferior, and that goes, if it goes to respect and feeling inferior, and then the brain runs with it and turns it into something that you've got nothing to do with it, and suggests to you that you're interested in that same gender. That's how OCD and HOCD works, but you don't have to fall for it. You should be smarter than that and know that this is all just brains shortcomings and brains inferiority in the way of not being smart and just trying to react, thinking that is protecting you, but in fact just overacting on that issue. Yeah, Nicholas, I just did, and I responded. And Kazhard says, hey, 23 male from England. How you doing, Governor? All right. He says, what's the best way to deal with strong, disturbing thoughts, please? Just move on. Why do you want to deal with the strong, disturbing thoughts? What do you do when you pass by and see a strong smelling, disturbing shit on the corner of the street? Well, you go poke on it. What do you mean deal? We pass by. Something not pleasant to you and not agreeable to your values. And it's not fun to be around or be mingled. It's like you meet a bunch of people that they're playing a certain kind of game. I don't know, cricket, let's say, and you're not interested. You're interested in soccer. Or they're playing tennis, but you're good in basketball. So what do? You maybe notice it and then you pass by. You go to the field that they're playing basketball. Same thing. Intrusive thought shows up of a kind of scenario that it's not relevant to you and you're not interested, disturbing. Why do you think we should manage it? You just move on to another thought. Brain is making 80, 90,000 thoughts a day. There's so many of them that if you give him a chance, the next one will come. How? By you simply recognizing the labeling this thought, meaning translating the thought for you to open its mystical presence that gives you certain kind of feeling or emotion. Focus on it. Oh, I'm feeling anxiety right now. Let's say if you feel anxious, I'm feeling anxiety right now. Then you reframe it. Say, is there something wrong? Or I feel there is something wrong. Oh, I feel there's something. There's nothing wrong, really. And then you switch. Now that you've recognized it's a nasty thought, it's an irrelevant thought, it's something that you don't enjoy or share its opinion, the brain suggests, then you move on from the attention to this to attention to something positive and simple, like making a cup of tea or taking a walk or looking at the scenery or listening to music or something simple, talking to a friend. You switch the attention to something else. So in other words, you pass by, you notice, oh, something in the corner of the street. What is it? Oh, it's okay, it's shit. Okay, and smell that. Oh, okay, fine. You recognize it, you label it, you reframe it, and then you focus on something positive, which is where you want to go, and you pass by. That's how you deal with it. Otherwise, there's no need to deal with anything. Christina says, hi, Meron, you didn't see my question. Christina, where's your question? I must have passed by. Christina, I don't see a question from you, dear. There is no question for you, from you. The first one is this. Hi, Meron, you didn't see my question. So look at your question. Maybe there is a word that you can change the word. YouTube picks up some stuff and just somehow thinks that it's better than us and hides it. And Yashvin says, Meran, I have a really hard time trying to focus. I just lie at my bed every day with relative negative thoughts. Because of my knee, I can't go outside, often to divert my mind from the breakup. It's hard. I know it's hard. But and you continue, says, I can't seem to escape the memories. No, it's not that you can't escape the memories. Memories are gone. They're dead. They're in the past. Past is dead. So memories in the past, and past is dead. So memories are non-existence. But what the problem is this. Listen carefully. And if you listen carefully, you will understand what you should do and what you shouldn't do. Look, first of all, tell me, how long were you guys in a relationship? Tell me that, then I'll continue. I'll go to another question. Kosar says, Master, my question is, is ego and personality is the same? No. Ego wants to be your personality, but your personality may actually dismiss ego if it's smart, because ego interferes and doesn't let you see things the way they are and the way that it's reasonable, and makes you behave in such a way that is not necessarily attractive or acceptable. Now, to some points, ego is good because you want to win a competition, you want to, succeed in your project. So ego is good. You want to be the best you can be. You want to groom yourself nicely. You want to dress nicely. These are all fine. But allowing ego to think that ego is you and can control you, and then it goes overboard and it starts hurting people, and also it's not going to be a positive trait in you. Oh, Yashvin says we were together for 4 years. All right. Now, listen carefully. It is not that it is hard for you to escape the memories. It's the fact that you seek the memories. Now, let's find out why. Before you met this guy, you had your own way of living. There were certain things you were doing during your day from the moment you would wake up till the time you would sleep. I know you would wake up, you have your tea or coffee, whatever it is that you drink, you clean up, you get your backpack or briefcase or whatever it is, put your clothes on, and you go out to your business, whether it's a school or your job. And then after that, maybe you would go to the gym. I don't know. Maybe you would meet your friends for dinner or hang out or for tea or whatever it is that you were doing with your friends. These things called mechanical process. And through certain mechanical processes, you would have created certain kind of a routine in your life. Through this routine, you create an order in your life. Now, from the old times, human being has been looking for security. But we needed it to be in two kinds. Physical security, to be safe, and that could be attained by being in a physically safe environment. Like I'm in my apartment, the door is locked, I'm in a good part of town, and it's a safe physical environment, so it gives me a safe physical feeling because I'm in a physical safe environment. Physically, I feel safe. But the mind also needs safety and security. However, mind doesn't find its security in the same way that the body finds its security. Body finds its security when it's in a secured, physically secured environment. But the brain cannot find security just because it's part of the body and it's in a physically safe environment. Mind finds security in the order of life. In all those mechanical processes that you were doing, created a routine. And from that routine, you created an order for yourself in life, a certain mechanism, certain way of living and doing things. That order would give the mind occupation and certain rhythm. And that order causes the mind, the brain. I call mind and brain the same at this juncture, but they are different things. So the brain finds security in the order of life. Now, your boyfriend also had his order of life because he was doing different things and they created a routine. And from that routine, he had created order in life. So you each had your own orders in life. When two people get together, your order in life disturbs the order in life of your partner. And your partner's order, your boyfriend's order in life, disturbs and what is it? Whatever disturbs your order in life. So they're both trying to infringe into each other's sovereignty. Eventually, after a short while, you guys compromise and you end up creating something that some of it are private for each one of you, personal, such as when you get up and what you drink and how you get ready and how you go to your business or work or school. And then some of it are mutual. You come up with compromise to have the same kind of mechanical processes that you do, create this routine through all these arrangements, and you create a new order. This order is neither yours completely nor his completely, but it's a new order because of these two orders have joined. You guys have joined in spending your time with each other. Now, after a while, there is only one order that your brain recognizes to feel its security. When you break up, you cannot have that order anymore because it took two to tango. It took two people to create this order. Therefore, you still can find physically safe environment and be physically safe, security, but your mind doesn't have the order that it used to find security in it. Now it's confused. It's looking for that order. Where can it find the order? It cannot find it in actual life because you guys are not together anymore, and it would take two people to create that order that you guys had, the new order, right? So what can it do? It still wants security, the brain, and it can't find it in the physical environment. So it's going to go into the memory, because in the memory, everything is recorded. We record things 24/7. So in the memory, that order, the way things were between the two of you, is still there. So the brain goes in there, ruminates about the things that is in the memory, because in the memory, things had the order that the brain was used to in the actual life. Can't find it in actual life, but still wants the security, it goes into the memory. In the memory, roams around and finds that order and feels secure and doesn't want to come out, because that's where the order that it is used to is. However, what does the brain see in the memory? Part of the things that it sees in this order, while it's in the memory to seek security, is the partner that is no longer in the actuality in your life, but it is still recorded and is in the memory as it was when you guys were together. So what happens? When the partner is also noticed by the brain in the memory, there's a file that has caused and created that desire for you guys to be together. You know, desire has few steps, prerequisites to be met for desire to be born. Those prerequisites, when it was created between the two of you back then, is also recorded. So when the memory, when the brain in the memory sees that other partner in the memory as part of the order that is recorded in the memory, triggers the prerequisite files for desire to be born, because the brain doesn't understand that this was the past. It thinks, oh, the desire prerequisites are met, so I got to desire that person again. So you desire him while you don't have any reason to desire him, because things are no longer the same and you guys are not in a relationship together, and you're perfectly fine to go on. But every time that you keep looking for security in the brain, you see that person, that triggers the desire file, and the prerequisites already met in that file. They open up, brain thinks prerequisites are met, now I got a desire. So you again desire your boyfriend, or the boyfriend desires the girlfriend, however the situation may be. That's why you keep having a problem to get out of the memory, because your brain is seeking security and it's got no choice but keep going in there to find things as they used to be, because you're used to that order that you were spending your day with. So what is the solution? Solution is this: to come to the actual life and find new hobbies, new interests, new friends, and new things that you like to do and learn, and create new mechanical processes. From those new mechanical processes, there would be new routine. From that new routine, there would be new order. Now that there is a new order in the real actual life, the brain doesn't have to go seek security in the memory, because there is an order in the actual life, and it stays and finds the security in the actuality of the order, in the actuality of life, and you will be getting rid of that moment of keep going into the memory. And the memory would not be a problem anymore, because you have now created a new order in the reality and actuality of life. Got it? If you guys found any other channel that could describe these things for you, give him a super chat. Otherwise, you cheapos. I hate to say it, but you guys, for 13 years, I carried you. Now I leave it to you to carry the channel. If you don't, channel will die, and I will die with it. I mean, I'll just disappear. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? Liam Edmonds. Christina says, there it is. Christina says, hi, Meran. Female, 31, New York. Aha. So my question is, how to believe in love and have hope of having a good relationship after a breakup? Thank you. Well, was your relationship that you broke up a good one? Well, for a while it was a good one, I'm sure. Otherwise, you guys would have broken up sooner, right? Did you know that this relationship that you had would have been a good one before you went into that relationship? Did you have a premonition? Did you know that there is a good relationship awaiting me? No, you didn't. It just happened. So just as you didn't know that relationship is going to happen, it's going to be a good relationship, at least for a while, the same way applies. You don't know that there's another relationship on its way, because there's no way to tell you. We never know these things. But not knowing that there is a relationship going to be happening in the future doesn't mean it's not going to be happening. It just means you don't know it. It's like, I don't know if the store across the street has, I don't know, a certain brand of chocolate, German or Belgium chocolate. I don't know. But just because I don't know doesn't mean it doesn't have it. Once I eventually get out of my apartment one day and go and cross the street and go into that store, then I will know that it is or not. And if it didn't have it, it doesn't mean it will not have it tomorrow, because it may be on shipment. So you can never base your happiness or hope on, if I know something that for sure is going to happen. That means you're seeking certainty. Well, funny enough, nothing in this life has been certain for us ever since we were born, has it? Have you had pre-knowledge of things that were happening when you were a kid? Like which school you're going to be going to, which friend you will find, what kind of a gift you will get at your birthday. How about New Year, whatever the New Year may be? Did you know what kind of gift you're going to receive? What kind of grade you're going to get to in exams? None of these things were known to us, but yet we went through life without knowing anything about the next day or our near future. But we managed going through life not knowing anything and not knowing what to expect. Everything was uncertain and everything was unknown, and yet we were managing it as we went along, and we've become an expert to live in a world that is uncertain. So uncertainty is our speciality. So now you're hanging on saying, I don't know how to be hopeful. Well, all your life you've been an excellent manager to be hopeful without knowing whatever is going to come out the next day. And you've managed and lived happy and hopeful for all the things that you've gathered and gained in your life and experiences that you have had. So how come now you're expecting that you should know things before you will be hopeful? That never was the case, and you were always hopeful and did your best. So the same thing continues. Just because you broke up with some relationship doesn't mean there's not going to be other relationships just because you don't know it. If you want to go on that premise, then every time you eat lunch, you can say, well, I don't know if I'm going to be having lunch tomorrow because I don't know. I just had lunch, but I don't know if I will be able to have another one tomorrow. You're not going to say that, do you? Because you think, well, I'm sure things has their own written, and there will, you don't even think about it. You deal with it as you go. So why is it that when a breakup happens, suddenly you lose all hopes that never ever will there be another relationship? How did you come up with that? Did you know that you will be in a relationship before you went into this relationship that just broke up? You never knew that either. But you did. You can attest that you did have a relationship, and before you got into a relationship, you didn't know that you will be in a relationship, right? Well, you're in the same position now. You don't know that you'll be in a relationship, but just as before, that it happened before you know it, this will happen without you know it. So this bullshit of I don't know how to be hopeful is just nonsense. Yeah. And Christina, I hope that helps out. And Yashvin says, so I need to make a new routine so my brain finds new comfort. There we go. And Yashvin says, this is very helpful. God bless you. God bless you as well. And Liam Edmonds says, 24 Toronto, says, hi, Meron. I'm not sure if you answered my question. Should I still date with HOCD thoughts? Date with HOCD thoughts? Liam says, 24 male Toronto. Should I still date with H? What does date with HOCD thought means? I don't understand. I think I answered your question in another question that was there about, how to deal with these intrusive thoughts and finding shit in the corner of the street and how to deal with that. All right. I'll be with you guys, maybe just another 10, 15 minutes. Then I got to get up and get ready to go see my mom, as I usually do every day. And I don't want to keep her waiting. So if you guys have any questions, come up with it. Otherwise, we can call it a day. And again, thank you, Stephen, for your super chat and supporting the channel. Remember, guys, we need super chat for questions, because I don't want to carry this channel on my own dime anymore. I've done it for 13 years. Now it's up to you. If you think 3,000 videos have done you good, and it's a good source for thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, relationship breakups, and how to get your balance and understand your inner movement of your psyche and understand OCD subsets, intrusive thoughts, HOCD, whatnot. If it's been helpful to you, then goddamn it, support the channel. Otherwise, let it die by the wayside, and I'll just go about making my money where I make my money as usual, and I'm not going to spend it on the channel. So that's my final word. Now, remember, it was your decisions to have this arrangement at live streams, super chats for questions, so the channel can survive. Now, let's see who we have here. Manish Kadam says, hi, Miran. I'm from India. Hello, Manish. And Liam says, should I still ask girls out? Of course. Of course. What the fucking question is that? Honestly, don't piss me off now. You should ask a girl out anytime you think there's a girl that you think you deserve her, you're a gentleman, you behave well, and she's meeting your standards. By all means, politely, kindly, sweetly ask her out. She says no, respect that. Fuck off. She said yes, great, respect that. And invite her to tea, dinner, lunch, activities, stuff like that. All right, never miss a chance. All right, guys, I think we've answered all the questions. There's no more here. So it's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity, being here, giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Damn, I thought she is the one. Everything was all good. She suddenly turned as if I was no longer who I was anymore. Why did she do that? Why do I feel so devastated? How can I feel better? How can I understand what is going on in my head? How can I go on? I will never fall in love again. Ah, things finally make sense. I now understand why she did what she did, and why I feel so shitty about it all, and why I miss her so much. I now know how to not miss her, and how to move on and build a better me, more confident and more aware of the role of my thoughts, consciousness, desires, fears, and ego in my relationship, and how I feel after a breakup. I got to talk to him or watch his videos on YouTube.
It may all seem like a mystery to you right now, but you can always go to my YouTube channel, where you will find over 300 videos on this subject and more. You can find out exactly why you feel the way you do, and why your thoughts are the way they're reacting, and the role of your psyche in all this. Plus, how to feel good again, become strong, and get your confidence back, and ready to move on. And more importantly, how to move on. And you will certainly be fine once you know how your mind works, dear. If you still needed to talk to me one-on-one, that's always possible through my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. There you can book a Skype consultation time for us, and we can chat about what's concerning you. This is what I do with all people who need it from all around the world.